All right. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the Voice Centers podcast. It's your boy Marino Jorge, and I'm here with my boy Demo. Joel is not here with us today. That man got in a bike accident, so we're just wishing him nothing but the best. Demo, how you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Surviving right now. Obviously without basketball, it's gonna feel weird because I'm gonna start watching highlights again. Gonna be watching LeBron and his MVP season. Gonna be trying to
Yeah,
trying to keep myself entertained. But we still got soccer. I still got other sports to look at. But in
yeah,
regards to that, I'm gonna be all right. So in regards to the finals, there's nothing really much to talk about other than the fact, congrats to the Heat. Uh, or props to the Heat for making it competitive as it was.
yeah.
Congrats to the Lakers for getting another title. I mean, there's nothing really much to talk about other than the fact, you know, the Lakers. It was just Game 6 was just an onslaught. I mean, Miami. You can't even blame Miami for them at least showing some effort. They can't really account for LeBron and AD, and the others for the Lakers just chipped in. So that was really just the end result.
They went beast mode, like
Hmm.
defending. You know, defensively they were really great, and
Yeah.
offensively they were also great. So they overall they really went beast mode. So yeah, I was kind of like waiting for that because they didn't do that in Game 5, but in Game 6, yeah, they really needed to get that dub. And the Heat, well, they tried their best. I mean, I don't blame them because I mean the Lakers were the favorite to win, and they got the job done. So yeah, that's great for me because waiting for the Lakers to win. Laker fans, we got this. Purple.
Yeah. It ain't really nothing much to talk about. Uh, so obviously the big news going on right now with Daryl Morey stepping down as the Rockets general manager. Me as a Rockets fan, I had mixed feelings about this because while Daryl Morey was there for almost 13 years, I gotta give credit where credit is due. He was the reason why of the James Harden trade. Like if people don't realize that James Harden, as much as we can roast on him and get on him sometimes about the playoffs, the Rockets are not going to be the Rockets today without Daryl Morey making that trade. And so you got to give credit where credit is due. He made other trades. I didn't agree with putting D'Antoni as a coach. Because D'Antoni just when it came to the playoffs, he never made adjustments. He never changed really anything. And in regards to that, Daryl Morey, he did. If I give him, in regards to grade, I'll give him a B. I can't really give him an A because we didn't get a championship out of the 13 years that he was there. So, in regards to how he was, like he was good for the Rockets organization. He changed a lot, but also at the same time, he could have just some things just should have stayed put the way they were and not really change anything. It's
I mean, I kind of disagree with that move because, like you said, the reason James Harden went to the Rockets, the reason behind that trade was because of him. And I mean, he's a great general manager. Stepping down is not really a great idea, but maybe it's also not a bad idea. Maybe, he'll try to do better things than, the general manager. Maybe he'll do something. We don't know. We really don't know. So, I mean, I think we're all curious to see what's going to happen and what exactly he's going to do for his new position, right?
yeah. I mean, if you look at it, the Rockets they're not in a great position because we had no we have no draft picks. We really had no flexibility, no cap space, like really get anyone big time because of Russell Westbrook's contract. Eric Gordon's contract, you got PJ Tucker's contract, and so like the reason why, because it started with Chris Paul, and so let's just
Yeah,
go. Chris Paul, he came to Houston. I was a little mixed up about the fit, but I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. And you got great results. They won
yeah,
6+ games. James Harden was the MVP. Chris Paul was playing great. They had great role players, Eric Gordon, Ryan Anderson, Trevor Ariza, Bahamute. I mean, countless, along with Clint Capella. Like they had pieces. They were going in the great direction, especially for the first year. That was great. It was great to see. Unfortunately, it ended in our favor. We met up against the Warriors. We were up
yeah.
3-2. Chris Paul got injured in game five, and then
True.
James Harden became non existent in the final two games.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean, about that Chris Paul. Wait, speaking about Chris Paul, when he moved to the Rockets, I didn't think it was a bad move because Chris Paul is a playmaker and he can like adjust the end of his teammates. Like he's that kind of player. Even though he hasn't played with you, he like finds your strength and your weaknesses, and then he plays well. He finds a way to just play with you. And mixing Chris Paul and James Harden, yeah, it was kind of questionable because of the point guard position. James Harden can also go point guard, but you know, fortunately he didn't until game 7. Was it games? Yeah, they went till game 7. Yeah, wait, it was game 7, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, until game 7 where he went point guard, and that's where he proved that he's not really a point guard, and they needed Chris Paul. Well, too bad they lost. I was really, supporting the Warriors. The Rockets. I really, really wanted them to win, to go up against the Cavs. Chris Paul getting his first ring or something, and James Harden. That's what I want to see. But Warriors are the Warriors. They're strong, and they just showed that. KD, Curry, they did a great job.
yeah. Because they had a chance to close them out. James Harden was non-existent the final two games. And the game that's gonna hurt the most is game 7 because they missed 27 straight threes. And as a coach, I don't know what was in D'Antoni's head. Like you keep telling them to fire up threes. When you miss 5 in a row, call a timeout, draw up something like tell James Harden to drive, like tell him to get to the foul line because that's when he's at
Yeah,
his attacking.
yeah, he's good at drawing fouls. He could have done
Yeah.
that.
Mhm. Drawing contact, get to the foul line. That's James Harden. But they just kept firing three after three after three. And and in that time with that Warriors team, you are not getting in a shootout. You are not gonna go head to head against that Warriors team. That Warriors team was just too much to deal with in a shootout, But the Rockets went to the challenge, but it's just like I said,
Exactly.
the Warriors they were monsters. They were monsters, that three-headed monster of Steph, Clay, and KD, and you add Draymond, who's the heart and soul of the team. And so they had a chance to close them out, you know, but then you go to the following year, they still had a good record. They still made the playoffs. I felt 2019 was just you had you had you had a better advantage to me because Kevin Durant went down with an injury.
Yeah.
Down with that injury, which was the potential Achilles, but some people labeled it, oh, it's just a calf muscle, calf pull. It looked like an Achilles. It looked like an Achilles because he was like looking back to see, hey man, did you kick my foot? Because he felt someone kicking him, or he felt something different. And when you see that,
That's how it is.
hmm it's an Achilles. So I was like, man, like we have a great advantage. But then I was also like, man, the Warriors are just gonna go back to 73-9. They were already pretty much before KD, they already had, that their style really. It was just with KD, how are they gonna adjust? Because granted, KD in his 2 years, he was arguably their best player when it comes to scoring. When it comes to him, being that guy for them, KD was like the best. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, KD's down. That was just good because you don't have to deal with him. You don't got to deal with his 30 points or his 40 points. You ain't got to deal with that. You just got to make sure Steph and Clay, don't get too comfortable, and they let them get too comfortable, and that's what happened. Is just I was just mad because we had a chance. We had
Yeah.
a chance, and this is what I go to back to Dan Tony. He doesn't make adjustments. He doesn't bring anything else. He just doesn't. He didn't make any adjustments after KD left. It's hard because the potential was there, especially in 2018, more than 2019. Even though 2019, their KD, who was their best player, got injured. It was it's tough. It was tough. I mean,
Yeah.
you get mixed results from it. But I mean, now you look at it, it seems like they're pressing the rebuild. It seems like they're gonna press rebuild. I don't want to say it because you still have James Harden and Russell Westbrook, but I don't know how it's gonna be next year. I mean, the coaches available right now, some were just Ty Lue, Jeff Van Gundy, John Lucas, one of the assistants for the Rockets. He's also getting potentially interviewed, but
They should probably get a new coach, or like Tony has to start making adjustments. I mean, he's great offensively. Yeah, offensively he's great, but he needs to focus more on the defense. And then when the offense is not working, he needs to know how to, when should you shoot threes, when should you stop, when should you drive. You know, he needs to get like a better game plan. Basically, yeah, he needs to get a better game plan, and he needs to adjust quickly. He needs to do all of those stuff. Like, yeah, he just needs to master those stuff, and then I think the Rockets will have a shot again.
yeah, it is. That's the 2018 20. I mean, you gotta think about it. We can place the blame on Maury and D'Antoni, but also the owner Tony Fertitta. He can't get off the hook either, because
Exactly.
this was the guy that gave Chris Paul that big and I know when it came to that big contract of Chris Paul and how it was, I didn't like the contract either. But I was kind of like, okay, you got Chris Paul, and yeah, even though he got injured, you still have him. Because now you look back at the trade, you're gonna say OKC won. Because with Russell Westbrook, you didn't really get any results. You didn't get any results. You didn't really gain much, other than the fact, and that's no disrespect to Russell Westbrook, but again, it's just Chris Paul was just better. Chris Paul was just better, in that system. But it was, James Harden and Chris Paul, they were beefing. They didn't like each other. And so it was,
Yeah, too bad. Yeah.
that contract was not great. And, you know, it was not great. And I still felt they could have kept Chris Paul and Clint Capella, who was, who
Yeah,
got
yeah.
rebounds for you. They should have kept Capella.
They shouldn't have traded him like that. That wasn't a good move. That really wasn't. I was pissed. I'm not a Rockets fan, but I mean I support them, and that's what kind of like pissed me off seeing Capella. I mean, you look at Capella and James Harden. That's like a duo. They know how to play together, especially when it comes to the pick and roll. James Harden tries to find Capella, and then you just like trade him after they built that chemistry. I mean, I think every Rockets fan kind of like got mad or something negative, in them.
Yeah. I mean, 4 years, 160 million. My gosh. 2 years, and he's still gonna get more money. He's still gonna get more money from the contract. So, you know, But you still also have Russell Westbrook's contract, which is also probably as big as Chris Paul. Let me check Russell Westbrook because he got a pretty big deal too with the Thunder. You know,
Yeah, he does.
what did he get? He got a 5 year, $206 million deal, but that was with OKC. So it was just, yeah, it's tough. Because you look back at this trade, you can just kind of go, man, like, the Thunder really won this trade because it's just Russell Westbrook. He's not a great 3 point shooter. He can penetrate and kick it out to guys, but he's not really a great 3 point shooter. He doesn't really command the offense as well as Chris Paul. Chris Paul's, he commands and he leads the offense, and he can do so many things for you. That was,
Exactly.
yeah. So yeah, it's hard looking back at this now. You can't even you can really say, well, Russ won it, Chris Paul won it. From my perspective, the Thunder won this trade. Even though yes, Chris Paul got banged up and he's getting older, but you could have kept him. Him and James Harden could have just worked on getting their relationship, their chemistry better. Now to the next one, Ty Lue signing with the Clippers. I I don't know. I don't know about this one because obviously it was reported that Kawhi and Paul George got some privileges that Kawhi got handed some privileges over there with the Clippers, and Doc Rivers just let it fly under the rug. Paul George claiming, he was this, and that. Like he was in KD and LeBron's tier, and I was just, Paul George, you're not there yet. I don't, I don't think you're ever gonna be there. But he's still a good player. But it's just
Yeah,
because Pat Bev and Lou Will and Montrez, they were just kind of like, wait, what? These dudes just coming in here, getting all these privileges, and look at us. Like we fought for everything. They fought to get those contracts. Pat Bev was going overseas. He went to the league. He went overseas, and now he came back. And so their mindset is kind of like, man, it's hard every day. Work hard and practice hard every day. That was their mentality. But Kawhi and PG, they were coasting. They were really coasting. They got a lot of privileges. And with Doc Rivers, Doc Rivers just let it fly under the rug. But I think, but I think also for Ty Lue, I think Ty Lue is gonna hold dudes accountable because, like I said, Ty Lue was one of the assistants for Doc Rivers last year. So Ty Lue saw everything. Ty Lue saw everything that was going on. And so obviously with Doc Rivers leaving and him being the head coach, just them promoting him to the head coaching position, I think he's gonna hold dudes accountable. I think Kawhi and PG, now with Tyloo's not gonna let that happen. You know, and why? Because he dealt with LeBron James. He dealt with LeBron and his ego, and Tyloo's gonna say no. Like there are some things that Kawhi and PG are not gonna have, just like when Doc Rivers was there last year.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that move, Ty Lue coming up from assistant to head. I mean, it's not that bad because Ty Lue isn't a bad coach. He's not a bad coach. He can coach. He knows how to coach. I mean, he dealt with LeBron and Kyrie that championship. So, I mean, just because he got a ring doesn't mean he's a great coach. But I mean, he knows how to coach. He knows how to adjust. So, I mean, it's just a matter of now. It's just the players now. They just got to cooperate with Ty Lue, listen to Ty Lue, or if you disagree, disagree. But stay on the same team because I think they will go further than they went last season. So it's questionable, but I think it's a great move by the Clippers.
Yeah, I think because I don't think they need because as much as we roasted on them and we got on them and Pat Bev talking trash, PG and Marcus Morris and stuff, they still have a good team. Like they can be easily like a contender for the championship next year.
Yeah,
So I think they just got to tweak their roster a little bit, but I mean, they're still going to be talked about as one of the top contenders in the league next year. But, Kawhi and PG, that treatment that y'all got with Doc Rivers is not going to happen with Ty Lue. Ty
Not
Lue
anymore.
hold dudes accountable. And the reason why is because he dealt with LeBron. And LeBron sometimes like to test these coaches. LeBron tested Ty Lue, and then Ty Lue let him know. And so LeBron was just kind of like, okay, he's not playing around. He really, he's going to hold through the. Now, when it comes to where do I see them next year, I don't know. I still think that the Lakers can make some moves. The Lakers can make some things happen. But we'll see what they do next year. It's going to be an interesting year next year.
Yeah,
Next year.
it definitely an interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just hope it's kind of like the recap of the 2016 season. Wait, what 2015-16 season? I hope it's a recap of that because like that for me, that was like the best season in the NBA history because it was just, I mean, the Cavaliers coming back 3-1, the 73-9 Warriors, Kobe Bryant, all of that, the dunk contest. That year was just, the best. And I think next year or next season, it will kind of like have similarities with that one. Hopefully, because I want to see that season again. That was really entertaining to watch.
Next year is one for the books.
Yeah.
Sure, really, when you look at it, because and that was just our next topic in regards to next year, how things are going to look. It's going to be tough, especially for the West, because one of the teams that we saw this year in the playoffs is not going to be there next year. And so when we talk about next year's playoffs, who's going to be out? Is it going to be Dallas, Portland? Is, it's going to be one of these playoff teams that we saw this year in the bubble. Probably not going to be there next year. So
Yeah.
the West is loaded every year, but next year is gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough for teams that are just trying to find their way, you know. And in regards to the East, now the East is not there in regards to competition with the West. They're not there
Yeah,
yet.
not
They
there
they
yet.
have they still have a couple of years, but in regards to right now, they're not there with the West. But the East is slowly but surely, getting a little bit better, getting a little bit
Yeah,
competitive.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So it's hmm, yeah, you just kind of man, like I still I still think I don't know with the Clippers. I'm getting mixed emotions about the Clippers now because I don't know Kawhi, and PG, and then they was lacking. There was lackadaisical. Some players they want to be in the bubble. It's just we'll see how they do next year. But I guarantee you, what Kawhi and PG got last year with that treatment, it's not gonna be the same with Ty Lue. He's gonna hold dudes accountable. And it was also reported that Kawhi, in the Kawhi had to use Kawhi had to go by plane a lot to the Clippers whenever the Clippers were traveling to away games. Kawhi, he went to so basically where the Clippers like the LA airport, where Kawhi lived, it was almost 2 hours away. If he went by car, it was 2 hours away. If he went by plane, it's a little bit less shorter. And so like Kawhi might, hey, you might see Kawhi miss a game next year if he don't get there earlier because I don't think Ty Lue knows. Ty Lue saw it firsthand last year. With all them privileges that they got, it's not gonna happen with um with what happened with Doc Rivers. It's not really gonna happen with Ty Lue.
Not anymore. It's over. It's done.
So now getting to the soccer part, Cristiano Ronaldo tested positive for COVID a couple of days ago. and he might be facing punishment in regards to what he did. He's denying that he broke protocol, but wishing him nothing but the best. But he has to quarantine for 10 days, and
Yeah.
5 days after, Juventus and Barcelona face off. So if you're Juventus, are you gonna play him? Are you gonna do this and that? What do you think?
I mean, um, probably he'll be okay by then. I mean, they say that it takes like, if you're not highly infected, then it takes probably 2 weeks, a week for you to like recover from it. And I just hope he's going to be there, because I need to see another, Ronaldo Messi matchup. I need to see that one again, because we all know it's entertaining. It was before, and it will probably be, because now it's different leagues, different play styles. So you know we're gonna see wonders. We're gonna see things that probably we've never seen. So I think they should play Ronaldo, because we never know. Maybe he gonna switch teams. We never Maybe he gonna get traded. Like, you never know in sports. You never know what's gonna happen next. So I just like want to see this so that we can like appreciate probably or probably our last Ronaldo Messi moment. You know, I really need to see this because we haven't seen that last year. So I need to see this, and I just hope. I really, really hope Messi shows up. Like, he really shows up. He just does what Messi does. And Ronaldo goes beast mode, like, he usually does. Man, like, there's a lot to say about this game. So I don't know. But we need to see this. I want to watch this.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
Uh, yeah, it's gonna be interesting seeing them face off again. I mean, because you look at it like they're getting older and they're thinking about retirement now. Like, they're not thinking, well, I'm gonna be playing 5 to 6 years from now. Now, retirement starts creeping in their minds, and it's just kind of like, where do I see myself in the next 3 to 4 years? Because the World Cup isn't until 2 years from now. So, in regards to seeing Messi and Ronaldo matchup, hey, we have it right now. They blessed us with Juventus and Barcelona being in the same group, in the same Champions League group. So we're gonna see them for this year. Now, in regards to the World Cup 2 years from now, I don't know because Ronaldo does not have a great team with Portugal. Like, Ronaldo does
Yeah,
not have a great team in comparison to Messi. Messi has a great team. Ronaldo does not have I wouldn't say average, but I would say they're good enough with him. With Messi's team, it's just I can't keep because Messi's my favorite player, but I can't keep making excuses. You have a better team than Ronaldo, yet you're not getting over the hump. That's what it's just like because 2014 really was the year for him. Because I think you look back at you look back at these trolls and these clowns on social media talking about, oh, Messi never shows up. Messi, you can't find him. It's just I wish Messi put all that to bed. He shut them all up had he gotten the
yeah,
2014 World Cup. But it's just Germany was just man. Germany was on a tear, and so it was just. And then they went to 2018 too with Russia. You couldn't find him. You couldn't find him either. Like that that hurts. And I don't know. Where do I see? I mean, this is gonna be interesting though because I think when you look at the projections from now, their teams are starting to get a lot younger, and so
yeah,
older players are gonna get pushed out of the door now. But I mean, you look at their lineups, Juventus and Barcelona's lineup. It's pretty much the same every week. I don't really look at the games like La Liga games. If it's Real, sure, but I make sure to check at least. Okay, who are they putting in? What adjustments are they making? And Barcelona got another manager again, so they've been switching managers since Luis Enrique left,
yeah.
and they haven't found the right manager. It's like it's been a disaster. it's been a nightmare because they
Yeah,
just can't find the right manager.
he has.
Because they got a new one this offseason, Coleman. He used to coach for Everton, and Everton, they're they're an average team. They're not really a team. If you talk about the Premier League and you talk about who are the best teams in the Premier League, Everton is not really talked about as a top five team. You can
Nah,
talk
nah.
about the top 10,
Yeah,
but they're not in the top five. So does he bring any championship experience? Does I mean, he doesn't really bring any of that experience like he's been in that spot before. So in regards to how he's gonna do and what he's gonna do to make this team great, because Barcelona at their best, they moved the ball around a lot. It wasn't a lot of isolation. They had a better defense. They had a better midfielders. They had a lot more balance. But now they don't because they got a bunch of 30-year-olds now, and that goes to the Barcelona staff. I mean the Barcelona board and Bartolomeo for not making any moves. That's the blame is on them because your players are not going to tell you, "Hey, go get some help." You should know by seeing the damn team every week. Hey, they don't look great. We gotta get some help. We gotta get some help. We gotta get some better defenders. It's I mean, and I want to ask you this, like in regards to how Barcelona is, do you think that they're going towards a rebuild? Because let's be honest, looking at their team right now, they have a team that's competing for the Champions League right now, but you don't have a lot of younger players either. So like,
yeah.
where do you see them projecting in the next, let's say, 4 years?
Next 4 years. I think. Well, I don't know, but I think they should go for rebuild because next next 4 years. I mean that's a lot, and if like they don't acquire young, talented, hardworking players, then they should definitely go for like rebuild. Just like I we understand you're a great team, and sometimes it's like hard for great teams to go through rebuilds. Because I don't know, maybe it's embarrassing or whatever, whatever people say or whatever assumptions they. But I think they don't get players like the good young players. I'm not saying go and get good old players because next 4 years, 5 years, six, they will retire. So like you should go after young, talented players, maybe 25, 26, 27, or even younger. So for me, the next 4 years, if they don't get good young players, then definitely they should go for rebuild. I don't know if they will, but I think I think that would be the best thing to do. That's what I. What about you? What do you think as a Barca fan? Where do you think we will be in the next 4 years?
I don't know, because it's hard to. I can't say contending because you're piling up on a lot of older players, and I can't say rebuild because you don't have younger. Like you don't really have much because I mean they're playing. They're playing today. They're playing against Getafe. Getafe is terrible. They're a terrible team, so they're probably gonna win that game. But I mean, they have signed some guys. Dembele is actually playing today. He's actually gonna play. He's not.
Fine,
Hopefully, he's not gonna get
fine.
banged up. He's actually gonna play. And they got another defender from the U.S. soccer men's national team. They got another. He's a nice defender. So a nice young defender, which is what we've been clamoring for. At least for you to get some talent. And so I don't know, man. I can't really project anything because it's just what are they gonna do? Because
Exactly. Like it's hard.
like what is Bartholomew gonna do? What is he gonna change? This man has done nothing in the last 4 years. what's going to be different the next 4 years? And thank God he's going to be gone after this season because they pretty much said, like, they pretty much just want this man out the door. They don't want this man here. They don't want this man in Barca. So, I mean, they still have, in terms to, in forward and midfielding wise, they have good players. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously you got Coutinho, you got Griezmann, Ansu Fati. He's still a 16, 17-year-old. So Ansu Fati is for the future. Dembele, if he stays healthy, and I just pray that he just stays healthy, because the Champions League is about to start in a couple weeks. So it's gonna be interesting where they are, but they just gotta get some younger players. They just gotta get some younger players. And I'm seeing which players they're getting. They're starting to pile up on younger guys. They're doing something right. So it's in terms of projection, I can't really say anything because will Messi be in Barcelona? Well, first of all, he's here this year. Next year he might really leave because then his contract in Barcelona is basically gonna be up. So he can't really force, like, Barcelona can just let him go because they really don't have him after this year. Because he hasn't signed any extension, he hasn't signed anything. He just basically said, okay, fine, I'll come back, play my last year, and then he can leave. So I think okay. I will say this: I think he won't leave if they win the Champions League because you win the Champions League,
yeah,
you're obviously regarded as the best team in Europe. So the Champions League gives you a lot of clout. It gives you a lot of respect. You get more respect when you win the Champions League in regards to winning all these other little cups that you have in your own league. With the casual cups. So I'm not gonna really pile on that because every year that I go into, I'm gonna say, did you win the Champions League? That's how I measure their season. Is Barcelona is a contending team. So a contending team like Barcelona should only be competing for a Champions League every year. Now get La Liga, get all these other cups, these other little cups that really don't matter, because what matters is the Champions League. The Champions League, when we talk about the Champions League in regards to basketball, it's kind of like the finals trophy. Like when you get the Champions League, just like the finals, it's kind of like, man, we got it.
yeah.
Got that, and we're finally there. And let me see, Messi has 4 or 5 of them, but I think Messi wants more. Messi wants more,
He
and
should.
yeah, he has 4 actually. So he has 4. But you think about it, he could have easily had 5 or 6. And that's just off the last 3 to 4 years. And then meeting up Liverpool and Bayern, and they were not beating Juventus in 2017, which was the same year, 2017 or 2018, which was the same year that they came back against PSG. That infamous 6-1 comeback, they had chances to come back, and so
Great game. That was a great game.
that was. And,
Comeback.
I remember Fernando was complaining that Barcelona paid the ref and stuff. I was like, he was whining. He was whining because Fernando, granted, what is he a Real? He was a Real Madrid fan, right?
Yeah.
Fernando he was a Real Madrid fan, so he was like, man, y'all paid the refs. Y'all paid the refs to come back in that game. And that, yeah, some calls, yeah, but also we don't care. We won the game. So I can't really say anything. I can't really project anything yet. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will. We'll see.
So, now, got a really fun one to talk about. We talked about this. We were texting each other about, let's do a topic about discussing who our future superstar, who's going to be a future star in the future. which I think is an interesting one because you look at it, there's a lot of good players, a good young players. I think you just
Yeah,
got to look at fit and you got to look at where the team's projecting. So I'm gonna let you go first, man. Who do you have as a potential future superstar in soccer?
I got. Uh, well, if you ask anybody that, they'll probably think, Mbappe, because he knows he knows how to play, man. Young, but he's so good. But then, there's still other players, and like no offense to, but I think I might have to take Mbappe. Like future superstar, yeah, that's definitely. If it doesn't, like, if only if he doesn't, deal with this stuff like injuries every time, maybe injuries once in a while, but every time, then definitely not, because then that just messes your ability to play. But you put injuries aside, or any like trouble and stuff, then I definitely have, because if he can do this at such a young age, like right now, especially what he did also for like France, then he will be able to do this stuff, when he gets a lot, older and stuff. He might even get better, just like other players do. Like they come off good and then they get better, but then some come off good but then they get worse and stuff. But I don't think that's his case. I think he's on his road to being a future superstar. Oh, and probably like a legend. What about you?
Yeah, and like you kind of said, well, let's pick our own players and such. And I really had like off the top of my head, I said, oh, that's easy. That's Mbappe, because
Exactly.
when you look at him, you know, he's 21. He's he already like you think about it. He was a couple years ago. He was just a 19-year-old playing in the World Cup.
Yeah.
He was the second youngest. I think he was the youngest player to ever play in the World Cup. Um, yeah, he was the
Yeah,
youngest
I
to
think
ever score and play behind Pele in a World Cup final. So like that's crazy because you look at how he is, and you see highlights and you see games, and it's just he's impressive because his speed, he can really change a game. He can really change a game for you because you look at him and you just kind of say, man, this kid he got speed, he's got handles, he doesn't really defend, but that's not really his priority as a forward. But I'm just kind of like, he can lull dudes to sleep, and he's really fast because I think let's you do a comparison between Mbappe and Neymar in terms of speed. Neymar's pretty fast now, but
yeah, he
look at it, Mbappe. I'm like, man, this kid might be faster, might be even faster than Neymar at Neymar's best. But I would still take Neymar. I would still take Neymar because Neymar back in the day when he was with Barca, he was a monster.
uh,
So it was, as you saw it
he was,
firsthand as a Barca fan. You saw it firsthand. So before PSG, he played with Monaco, and Monaco wasn't a great team. They were up there in the French league, so Monaco wasn't a great team. He was playing with Falcao. Like, yeah, he was playing with Falcao. Falcao was like on the back end of his career, so Mbappe was just like a 16, 17, 18-year old playing for Monaco and really playing for his country. And he moved to PSG, and ever since then he's just been star status because he's only gotten better. The problem is he gets banged up too. He gets banged up just like Neymar, and so he's gonna be with PSG contract wise. He's gonna be with PSG for 2 years, and then he can leave. But there's been some rumblings of him potentially leaving and going to Real Madrid or going to one of these elite teams. I'm like, man, come here to Barca. I mean, despite the disaster that we have Barca have right now. I mean, he can still just come in and easily take Messi's keys to the franchise, and he's a game changer. Because
Yeah,
I've seen
definitely.
this kid, you know, and when we talk about soccer formations, a 4-4-2 or 4-3-3, you can play him left, you can play him right, you can play him middle, you can spread him around, and he will change a game because he just. And one of the things in soccer is like that fast break, because
Yeah,
one dude just got had the ball, he got the whole field, and he'll go and Mbappe got that type of speed, and so
that he
that
has that pace.
mhm, he has that, and so. Obviously, you picking Mbappe, you don't really have players for right now to pick on other than Mbappe, because I really just like, off the top of my head, I can say Mbappe, I can say João Felix for Atletico Madrid, but he hasn't proven much. I can say also Marcus Rashford for Manchester United, but Manchester United is on a rebuild stage. I can say a lot more players, a lot more younger players are going to be future superstars, but I think if you look at it and you look at the projection, I'm kind of like, man, Mbappe is going to be, this is going to be talked about in terms of best player for like potentially the next 5 to 10 years. And he's really only going to get better from me. I mean, he's still 21. Like, he's still just starting to go. I think with him, I think it just depends because I think he's with PSG, so he's in that French league, and it's too easy. Like they can guarantee get the French league title every year. But I want him to take on a bigger challenge, though. I think he should go, and I got a couple scenarios for you to discuss. So there's about 5 options that I saw on a post by Bleacher Report Football in regards to what Mbappe can do. And so I'm gonna just give you these 5 scenarios that you think would be best for him. All right.
All right.
All right. So option one, he stays with PSG until he wins them a Champions League and he becomes a legend in his hometown. That's option one. Option two, he joins Real Madrid and becomes the man who finally replaces Ronaldo.
Hold
That's
up, hold up. Just stop right there. I'm a have like I know I didn't hear all the options, but I'm gonna have to go with one. Like, yeah, I'm gonna just like do one because
no,
you
you're tripping. You're tripping.
nah for real.
You're tripping. Oh my God, you are tripping. You're tripping. Please tell me why. Please tell me why.
Nigga, it's your hometown. Come on.
Okay,
What?
and what? And what?
Do it for your country. Come on.
Oh, just stop. Just stop. We gotten to the point where there's super teams in soccer now. No, no, there's no way.
I mean,
No, I don't,
he's
nah.
look, look, you know why I'm saying that? Because he's already a great fit with PSG. Just imagine he changes teams and then the coaches don't know how to use him. Or like he doesn't know how to adjust to that team's play style, you know. Or maybe he can, but whatever it is, nah, he has to stay with PSG. And
Come on,
this
man. Come on, man.
nah,
That's some blasphemous. That's some blasphemy that just came out of your mouth. That is some. No, no.
okay,
Okay. Let me give
when
you the other options. Let me give you
now
the other options, and then we can really discuss. Okay.
okay, okay.
So option three. Um, he goes and he signs for Liverpool. That's option three. He goes to Liverpool. Option four. He goes to Man City and he plays under Pep Guardiola. That's option
Okay.
four.
Five.
Option five, he basically goes to different leagues. So he goes to La Liga, the Premier League, the Italian League, the French League, and the German League. He basically travels all around Europe and and get this, if he does that, he becomes the first player to win Europe's top 5 leagues. So you imagine he travels all around Europe, goes to Italy, Germany, England, Spain. What's the other one? Uh, I forgot the other one. But like, you think about it though, he got some options. He got
Wait,
some options.
just wait. Wait,
So
hold up.
now let's
Wait,
talk
just
about it.
hold up.
Uh-huh.
I gotta do something really important. Sorry, you guys, but I need to go and get my charger. My phone's about to die. Just give me
Oh
a.
gosh.
I'm just give me a minute. Be right back.
I'm gonna edit this out.
All right, man. I'm right here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit this out, man. That delay was way too long.
Nick, jumping back to what you were saying, man. Come on, no. Okay, which option would honestly, which option would you take? Don't trip, man. Come on, don't trip. Let's go. Tell me which option would you take?
Man, Barcelona ain't here, but I ain't gonna. All right. What I think you should do,
What?
honestly,
Yeah, honestly.
option four, he goes to Pep Guardiola and Man City. That's my option. He goes to that. Because granted, no, look, okay, no, make your case for why he should stay at PSG.
Oh,
Have you looked at that team yet? That team is actually they have a good team, but the manager situation ain't great. They're about to fire. They probably about to fire their manager if they don't win the Champions League again this year for PSG. So, but go ahead, tell me why. Tell me why. Go ahead.
wait, tell you why.
Tell me why you think he should stay with PSG. Just
I already come on. I already told you it's his home. I mean, just do it for your country, man. Loyalty, come on. Do it until you win it, and then leave.
you're being you're being racist.
All
You're
right,
being
fine. Okay, wait. Maybe I would have. Wait, you chose him going with Man City?
yep.
Okay, wait, Man City. Okay, wait, that's decent. Nah, that's decent.
Nah, 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 nah. You can't be changing it up
No,
now.
I'm not changing. I'm just saying it's decent. That's a good one. It's decent, but I'm still sticking with my. I'm staying with my man. I'm staying with mine.
Nah.
Still gonna stay with mine. He still has to win for his home, for France and stuff. So I'm definitely staying with mine.
Nah. They I mean, if you look at it, their manager situation, Thomas Tuchel, that man might get fired because PSG was, one of the teams that were gonna win the Champions League and stuff, but they got eliminated again. So, nah, come on, man, don't. I mean, let me
You
look at
never
the.
know. They might get better. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, let me look at the manager situation. They had Emery. Emery was a Spain guy. Emery was okay for them. But Emery was also part of the team that the 6-1 comeback. He was a man. He was a manager for them. So that man Emery got sent home. He got fired, and they got Tuchel now. And ever since then, it hasn't been great. He's still their present manager, but I don't know. He might get fired too. But now you look at Man City. Pep Guardiola is a manager, and Man City in terms of team, they got some players. Because look at the players, just looking at the players that they got right now. Just listen to some of the options that you got here. You got De Bruyne, who's arguably one of the best passers in the Premier League
Look,
and soccer in
I
general.
know Man City. I know,
When it
man.
comes to it,
That's why.
you do.
That's why I said your option is decent. I made a mistake. Your option is great, but I'm still sticking with it. Wait,
I
you
mean,
just want me to agree with you or what?
no, I don't want you to agree with me.
So
Absolutely
exactly.
not. No. Right, like,
But wait, your decision that's a smart move though. I had to think again. Maybe if I was given a second chance, I'd definitely take that one. Man City. Yeah.
But you're not though.
Nah, I'm not.
Yeah, good. Because I don't even need to say the players. It's like it's star-studded. It's I don't even need to get into the players and stuff. You
You
know
don't.
where I come from. That man Kylian Mbappe is gonna be a future superstar for the next 5 years. This brother is on. This man is special. This man is special. And I mean, Man City. All they gotta do is just make a couple of tweaks. Because Man City, I know they're thinking about making some changes. They might be thinking about some changes. So but I mean, hey, there's not a lot of talk there, but I would for sure love to see him up there with the Premier League. Because when we talk about the toughest leagues in terms of soccer, for me, it's always going to be the Premier League because the Premier League,
Always.
it's like
Always.
the Western Conference. When it comes to the NBA, it's like the Western Conference, bro. You cannot get comfortable because last year, if you look at the standings for last year, I mean, right now, like I mean, Man City's 10 right now. In terms
Okay.
of right now, Everton's in first place. Liverpool's in second, and you got all these other teams, but they're just like some teams are like 4 to 5 games in. But if you look at the table from last year, oh my God, it was close. And it's been close every single year. Liverpool ran away with it last year by like, what is it? Shit, like 18 points. They ran with it with like 18 points. But you look at the year before, Man City won it. But Man City won it only by 1 point. So the reason why Man City did not really win it last year is because they were not playing great and they didn't really their players got injured. Most of their star players got injured. So
Yeah.
shit, I mean you look at the situation, it's a good. I want him to go there. Ah, screw PSG, man. If you gonna think about going back, go back. But nah, super teams like make some super team, make this
Yeah.
thing fun. But also like him going to Man City, yeah, it's gonna be a super team scenario. But also the Premier League's tough, so I want him to go to a tougher league because in PSG he's
Yeah.
gonna stack up on league titles and other titles every year. But if you want a real shot at getting the Premier League and the Champions League to contend every year, go to the Premier League. Go to either Liverpool or Man City, but I prefer Man City.
Yeah.
Man City's a lot better. Man City's in a lot better scenario than Liverpool. I mean, you kind of asked me who do you think is a better team. Last year I could tell you Liverpool because Liverpool was just playing at an all-time level. Liverpool really from the beginning of the year last year, like up until they won the Champions League, they were on a tear. They could not lose. They could not lose, especially at home. They really lost at the Champions League. It was a semi. Yeah, they lost the Champions League game at home. I think it was either the quarterfinal or semifinal against Napoli, and that was about it. When it comes to losses for them, whoo, man, Mbappe, go over there, man. They got something brewing over there. Go to
Yeah.
Man City, man. Liverpool, really one of the reasons was just for Man City, they got a bunch of injuries and they were never in rhythm. But this year's about to be crazy too. But Liverpool, Man City are going to go head to head at it again. But the Premier League is getting tougher and tougher and tougher. So Man City knows they can't really have any slip ups. I mean, you hear some reports, and okay, well, Pep Guardiola did say that Man City isn't interested in Mbappe, but that was 2 years ago. I mean, they still have no intentions of signing, but I'm still gonna have it in. I'm still gonna hold it. I'm still gonna hold it in. So, in regards to that, that's pretty much it. today. He uh, there have been some reports of Chris Paul potentially going to the Lakers.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
What did you think about that? What do you think about that?
If he goes, great, perfect. Just the money that might be a problem. That's the only thing.
Nah, bro, I don't agree with you there. I don't think because think about it, he goes, but you know what, Chris Paul every year he's gonna get an injury. So he might get nicked up, or he might get a hamstring, he might get a knee, but he might get, he's gonna get nicked. But also, like, you look at the Lakers, it's like, do they really need Chris Paul? They don't really need Chris Paul.
Rondo is leaving. What are you saying? They do need somebody like Chris
Rondo's
Paul.
not leaving. Rondo's entering free agency. So Rondo, technically speaking, he hasn't really left yet. He's just considering all options. So,
Okay.
but that is the end of another great episode. Uh, really, really good. Another great episode, man. Joel wasn't here today, but he will. I talked to him. He will be back next week. Better than ever. Wishing him nothing but the best. And
Yeah.
your final thoughts on this episode, man?
Nah, man. Just all the best to, Joel. He needs to at least learn how to ride a bike, man. Come on.
He went. Let me see what he said, because
Nah, he went downhill. He was going down the hill.
downhill,
And, he stepped on the mud.
and
That.
and then didn't even. He said I was going pretty fast down the hill, and the bike slid on some mud, and I fell. Jesus Christ! Come on, man.
Okay, like what happened last
And now his whole arm is broken. He got a cast and everything, so he's not
that
good.
that thing that thing is annoying.
Yeah,
But I mean all the best to him. He
yeah,
gonna get better.
yeah. Next year, next episode. This was a good episode. Next week's episode gonna be even greater. So
Sure.
that's all I can really say. Hey man, as usual, make sure y'all leave a like to this video, y'all subscribe, just gonna keep doing this. Gonna keep doing
Yeah.
this weekly. Gonna keep up with y'all. So yeah. Peace out, man.
Peace.